Hi, this is Ashley Ralph with Complete Performance Coaching. I'm one of the performance coaches. We have quite a few now, and I'm happy to be here live talking and addressing fear, how I address fear with my clients. And I actually use the acronym FEAR. So we start with F, which is we use fear as feedback. So we discuss what fear means to them, what they're scared of, what it feels like, what it looks like to them when it happens. So we really go through all the details of fear and the experience that they're having with it, the emotions, whatever it is, maybe shortness of breath, butterflies in the stomach. So we really just go through fear and talk through it and get all the details of it so that they can learn what their fear is. We talk about using fear as feedback. So we change our perspective. Instead of being fearful of fear and feeling scared and worried and shutting down and maybe balking and not going for something, as a gymnast, or just having it as something that is hindering your performance. So we really address fear as feedback and learn to take a different perspective, and this will make sense as we go through the steps. So that's how we start, or how I'd work with a client. And then the E for fear is empower. So we learn to be empowered and not be disempowered by fear. So we get empowered by fear. We learn our strengths. We learn how we can be empowered with fear and work around it and use fear to help us use our tools and techniques that we learn to address that. So we become empowered by fear instead of, disempowered by fear. Okay, so that's E. Then we go to A, adjustable. Being adjustable. So knowing that as much as we want fear to go away completely, it actually helps us. And a lot of gymnasts, especially that I work with, realize this in competition. They realize that fear actually helps them perform, helps them, do their best. And so they realize when we go through that conversation that it can be helpful. Again, that's the changing the perspective, but being adjustable in terms of being able to adjust and realize that fear, again, can facilitate you using these skills and techniques that we work on, whether it's visualization, circle breathing, relaxation techniques, refocusing stuff, reframing our thoughts. Being adjustable. And also when we're working through fear, being able to adjust, knowing that not every technique and every tool is going to work. It might take a combination of things, and it might take time to figure out what those things are, whether it's visualization, with circle breathing, and when the timing of that works perfectly for you. So being adjustable. And then R, the R in fear, is for reset and refocus. So we really learn that when we have those fears, when they show up, it's a reminder to reset, refocus on what we need to, whether it's a technique or tool, whether it's reframing thoughts, all these things. So fear is something that actually is helpful. It's the reminder to do the breathing, the visualization, whatever things that are going to help you reset, refocus. And I think if you see fear in a different way, it is not as scary, and it makes you realize that fear can be helpful, while you're working through some of these challenges, because, at first when I talk to a lot of my clients, fear really scares them, and it's really affecting their lives, negatively, or performances, or even coming home, they can't sleep at night, they want to quit, whatever it's causing. But when we can see fear in a different light and realize that it actually can help our performance, and it does help, and it has helped, and just knowing that we can work through a lot of that together, whether it's individually or something you do in the Perform Happy community. There's a lot of ways to see fear in a different light and to understand that it actually is helpful for us. We just need to learn how to respond to that fear, and see it as feedback, and just learning what that looks like for you, what combination of techniques or tools or breathing or visualizations that can work for you. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how I would work with clients with addressing fear, and also wanted to give you some hope and reminders that fear is not a bad thing. It can be really helpful. It just is about how we respond to it, and how we can use it to empower us and not disempower us and make us feel less than, or debilitated, or just frozen or balking, all these things that happen. We can really turn it around, and it can be something really beneficial. So it's not something we necessarily need to get rid of and push away. So I think a lot of times we just want it to go away. I talk to so many gymnasts that are just like, get rid of it, please make it stop. But then when we can reset and address fear in a positive way as like a helper, as a tool that's actually reminding us to how to respond, as long as we have those tools and know how to respond back in a way that works for us, and empowers us, makes us feel in control, of our responses, of how we react to those fears. So I just really wanted to talk generally about fear and how I address it with clients. And, I try to make it really feel okay, that it's okay to sit with your fear and have it and work through it. It's not something that you want to just literally leave you, because it actually helps you. So, I think seeing fear as a friend, as a positive thing, can really change, the way our athletes are feeling when they are facing the fears and challenges that they're going through. So that was what I wanted to go over. I have a couple case studies, but most of them are pretty similar, and it really relates to fear, but also being able to adjust with fear, because sometimes it changes, and it's not changing at the pace that we want it to, and we get impatient, and our perfectionist side comes out, and then we maybe have a setback, kind of like Chutes and Ladders. There's, sometimes you hit the, the climb and you get up quickly to the top, and then sometimes you hit the slide and you go back down and you have to start over again. So just knowing too, it takes time, and you have to ride, the ups with the downs. It's not just something that's going to be perfect. It's something that you're going to have to be adjustable with, and, patient with, especially when we're going through it. It can feel so overwhelming and disheartening, but really if you can see it in a different light and different perspective, and learn that fear can actually help you, inspire you, all those things, empower you, and that you can be adjustable with your responses to it. And it takes time, and different fears that come up, we're going to need different responses to, whether it's, like I said, a circle breathing technique, reframing, refocusing, visualization. It's like you got to find your perfect formula, or be able to adjust that formula. And that's what we're here as specialists to help your athletes with. And again, to give them the control and make them realize that they have control of their responses to fear, and it actually can be really helpful. So hopefully this was inspiring and helpful, and leave me some messages if you want to, and I'm here to work with any athletes. I work with mostly gymnasts, but I also coach running, cross country in high school, and have a lot of other specialties. But fear is something that I see pretty regularly, and I think we all deal with in our lives in some way. So learning to address fear can be helpful in all areas of life, not just as a gymnast. So it can help you in other areas. So it's such a good life skill, and I just hope to empower and inspire as many athletes and people that I get to work with. So thank you for being here, and hopefully you got something out of this, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and see you on the Perform Happy community, or I'll see you again here live in a few weeks. And also I'm here to do personal consultations. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.